Hi, this is Angela Lewis, and you here with All Hip Hop.
All right, well, my name's Chuck. I'm a co-owner of AllHipHop.com. True pleasure. I'm a big fan of you as well as the show. So it's good to talk to you. Finally, I have a confession before we start the interview.
Uh-oh.
Y'all be making me want to act. I'll be jumping in. I'll be feeling like I'm a part of the movie. Like I want.
Okay, yes.
I want to get in there. I actually did a Photoshop of myself as Franklin in the with the signage and everything behind me. And my friends shot it down. They were like, no, nah, you can't.
Oh no.
You're not it. That's not it for you. All right.
At least you tried. That's all
I tried. So the last one I did was the one I just did was no hip hop for old men, and I put that up there because I said I can make up my own movies now.
Yeah, that's right. That's what we're supposed to be doing, telling our own stories, making our own things up. That's right.
Definitely. So first of all, I got to ask you, how you feeling about this new season? A lot of new developments, especially for Louie, your character. How you feeling?
I feel good. It's Louie is very layered these days. I mean, she's always been layered, but it's nice that people get to see all of her layers and we get to tease it out even more. So I'm really excited. I'm happy that people are talking about her, and it's love and hate at the same time, and I'll take that.
Yeah. Well, she's making those power moves. You can't be boss without crossing a few people. So
that's right, and that's okay.
Absolutely. Now we're kind of, the series finale is right here. How are fans sort of receiving it in your eyes? Like, how are people? I mean, it's a lot of anticipation. In fact, I wish we could have did this after so we could really talk about it. But
right.
But how are you, feeling, and what's the reception been?
I think people are very excited. Yeah. Everybody is, got their thoughts on what's gonna happen, how everything is gonna go down. So it's been really fun, like reading people's, predictions. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. The last episode had me tripping. I was actually tripping. I was like, what is going on here? It was bugged out. Now we've seen like a lot of we've seen our share of Black people with this type of narrative drug game, but this feels different. It's obviously a family affair, but it also feels different in a number of ways. What are your thoughts on that? And why don't we get tired of it? And especially with Snowfall, like we don't seem to get weary, like, oh, here we go again, another drugs, thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important about Snowfall is to remember that we are talking about something that really happened. We are talking about how, hello, we are talking about how the government was involved in the plague on our community. Yeah. And we never stray too far from that. Right. In terms of our storytelling, and we're always trying to sprinkle in, real life situations, real life realities of the time, and we never let Franklin and the family forget what they have, been a part of, what has happened around to the people, to the family, to the neighborhood, to the larger community, and especially the community that they started in, that they're from. This is what is happening, and as long as we have that humanity component, I think that's what keeps people coming back. There's the shootouts and all the exciting things that happen that keep you like jumping and screaming at the TV, but the humanity part, the family part, that's what keeps people coming back.
Absolutely. women in history or historically in Hollywood have been regulated to, you know, the love interest or the voice of reason, you know, a number of different things, you know, thinking like menace to society, so on and so forth. Your character is definitely an exception to the general rule, you know. How would you, where would you place her in the you know, the history books of Hollywood and TV?
Oh man, I don't know. You know, I feel like I leave the legacy part for other people and for after.
Okay.
I just try to stay in the moment and I try to bring my A game and I try to bring as much humanity and layers and complications to Louie as I possibly can. And if that makes her stand out, if that puts her in the history books, that's icing on the cake. And that makes me feel good to hear you say that and to hear other people say that. But I think if I get caught up in, you know, how she's going to be historic or what she, then it goes, it'll start getting corny, it'll start getting weird, you know. I can't worry about that. I just try to bring the truth, and I try to bring her whole self, to my whole self and her whole self, to the character and to the moments.
Yeah, that's good. By the way, I'm glad you mentioned the historical aspects of the show, because, you know, sometimes I forget. I don't forget, but I think it becomes a part of the show. It's not overtly stated
Right.
the way it was kind of in the first season, you know, and it was very explicit. But anyway, that's just a point I wanted to.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about the show, that we drop little things in, and but it doesn't beat you over the head. It doesn't, because I think when that happens, then people like they you know, tune out, you know. Oh, here you go, you know, okay, well now we got to talk about, versus this other thing is happening and then we hit you with these jewels, or we hit you with these remember this, you know. And I think that is super powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. So you represent Detroit, or at
Yeah,
least are from Detroit originally.
I represent Detroit all
Okay,
day,
okay.
every day.
Salute Detroit. I love Detroit. And Detroit loves me, I might add.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, from a hip hop perspective, I got a lot of friends from Detroit. And I even have a hat from like 1990 or something where I'm from Delaware originally, I might add. From Delaware. So I have this Detroit hat. I guess back in the day it had a D on it. So I was like, you know, trying to rep Delaware, but also they didn't have Delaware hats like they do now.
Right,
I'm representing 302.
Okay.
Does Detroit factor it? You know, all my friends, by the way, are they're cut from a particular cloth. They're hard body. But does Detroit factor at all in this role?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, I can only pull from what I know, who I am, and then what I learned, right? And so I'm from Detroit. You know, my parents did a really good job of keeping me busy so that I didn't fall into, you know, the cracks and, you know, bad decisions and, you know, on and on and on. But I'm from the hood. I'm from the east side of Detroit, you know, so it was all around me. It is my family. It is, you know, it's all the things. And I pull from my subconscious, even things that I, you know, Louie is a lot like a cousin of mine. And I didn't even think of that, you know, until recently. I'm like, oh my goodness. So there's a lot of Detroit in Louie.
And on this other side, you know, a lot of people, I assume, myself included, not really, but sort of, you know, when it comes to acting, you know, oh, I could do that, bust my gun, you know, blah, blah, blah. But you actually, you know, trained and went to school for this. Can you talk about that, acting as your passion, as your trade, as something you studied and learned, and the difficulty in that, or is it easy for you?
I mean, it's difficult and easy. You know, I have always wanted to be an actor. And in the performing arts, I started dancing when I was 3. I did the choirs and the plays at school and at church. And then when I got to high school is when I got more serious about acting. And my school, cast tech in the house, we had majors in high school. And so my major was performing arts. And then I went on to University of Michigan and I majored in theater there. And then I went to New York and I, was grinding it out in New York, working actor, struggling actor with my side hustle as a bartender and a cocktail waitress. I was there for 13 years before I moved to LA, and so it's a lot of hard work and you never know when something is gonna pop. And there's a lot of no's and there's a lot of no response at all, and there's a lot of tears and a lot of frustration and a lot of like reconsidering, like, is this really what I'm supposed to do? Because it don't feel like it right now, so it's just a lot of hard work that goes into it, a lot of strategizing and then balling up that piece of paper and starting all over. And I think when people see a situation like, okay, suddenly Snowfall shows up and there are all these actors that they've never heard of or barely have heard of and never seen before, and people think that that's it happened overnight, and it didn't. I'm here to tell you it did not happen overnight.
Overnight takes 10 years, they say, or something like that.
At least 10 years. I even auditioned for Snowfall. The Snowfall happened twice. I auditioned for it, I didn't get it. The show happened, they did a pilot, it didn't go. They, started over, changed some things around. I auditioned again and got it. So even that, so to people out there who want to do it, if this is really what you want to do, you got to know that you are probably going to be struggling for a long time. You're probably going to have a side job or two, and that's part of it. There's no easy way.
Yeah, definitely. How about family life? You've become a mother. You're married. You've got a family now. So I would imagine an incredible support system. How has that factored into your life, career-wise, and just overall?
Well, it certainly kept me busy, but I think it just puts things into perspective. I like to think that I've always been a pretty choosy person, but I like to think I'm more choosy now because my time is super valuable. This little girl that I'm raising, she's so smart and so sensitive, and every day she's like, "Mommy, are you proud of me?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, yes, of course." And so she needs me, and if I'm not going to be with her, then I better be doing something worthwhile. You know what I mean? So yeah, family life, and with my husband too, like he deserves my time and attention and energy. So yeah, it makes me choosy. It makes me give it everything I got, even more when I'm not, home with the family, and then come home so that I can be present, so that I'm not, thinking about, oh, that thing I should have tried or I should have done, or, yeah.
How do you feel now, especially in the last few years with like Oscar So White and so on and so forth, the representation issue? I'm not going to sway one way or the other, but how do you feel about it? Especially seems like in COVID, it's really like we've seen so much more representation, for better or worse. Sometimes I'm like, who wrote this? But other times, I'm like happy to see it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, we've come a long way. I think we still got a long way to go. People have been fighting for representation in front of and behind the camera for a long time. So again, it's not an overnight thing. It's not like since COVID we started fighting and now we got representation. No, this fight started years and years and years ago. So how now, with Netflix, money is king, right? So with Netflix and all these streaming services, trying to get more subscribers all over the globe, they gotta cater to who's watching.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, we watch a lot. We watch most.
Yeah.
So, give us what we want. And I just hope that will continue in the positive direction for us. And as we see ourselves more and more, and see ourselves in a more varied, in more varied types of roles and more varied stories, then we can start to get a better, well-rounded, dare I say, healthier understanding of good quality content, and what it is that we like because we like it, not because this is what has been fed to us. Right. So I think exciting times are upon us, and I hope it continues to go in our direction.
Yeah. Okay. So
we'll keep fighting, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, we don't stop fighting, never.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but I took I did some Googling, and I thought about it, and I'm gonna name five names, and you give me your first thoughts on these 5 names. Now these are lady bosses or gangsters.
Oh no.
and you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. First name is Cleo.
Oh, Queen Latifah. Yeah. Set it off. Yeah.
What'd you think about Cleo?
I mean, I love Cleo. Who didn't love Cleo? Cleo. Everybody, and what a way to go out, right? I mean, like, that was the most gangster thing ever.
Absolutely. I be thinking about Denzel, and I'll be like, Training Day, it really looked a lot like Cleo. Like, did we, copy a little bit right there? Like, I'm just saying.
Right.
Just a thought.
I mean, why not? All great actors steal their stuff. So.
Exactly. All right, here's one. Keisha from New Jack City.
Man, Michelle Williams. Oh no, I'm sorry, Vanessa Williams. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Vanessa Williams, wonderful, wonderful lady in real life. But I mean, I think some of Louie is an homage to her, certainly. Way to roll and ride for your peeps. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. How about this one? Foxy Brown. She's the meanest chick in town. That's a little bit far back.
I know. I mean, iconic for sure. What a way to kick ass and be sexy at the same time. And, I mean, you want to talk about history, you know what I mean? Like one of the first. So, just all props.
Okay. Now here's another one that goes kind of far back, but do you know Stephanie St. Clair?
Oh, I do know that name, but I don't know why.
All right, I'll give you another clue. She played opposite Lawrence Fishburne in the movie Hoodlum.
I did not see Hoodlum.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, with Cicely Tyson, and she played a notorious racketeer, and she got busy. Yeah.
Madame Cicely Tyson.
Yeah.
Another icon. I mean, yes. Talk about range and an actor. Yeah. I wish I had been able to meet her. I did see her on stage once, and she was brilliant at I believe she was over 90, and she was the lead in this play, and she was like all over the stage. And I mean, wow. So if I had this much talent,
Nah,
I'm happy to have that modicum amount of talent that Cicely Tyson had.
shout out to the queen. Now the
Yeah.
last one I have is slightly a trick one, but the rapper boss from Detroit, you remember her?
The rapper boss from Detroit.
She had that song, I don't ever wanna feel. Oh man, it's been a long time.
Like I did that day.
That's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. But
okay, yeah.
But she used it.
Okay.
You know what?
No, I don't know this song. Oh no.
It's if I play it, you'll remember it, but I can't.
Okay.
But she was one of the first lady gangster rappers signed, period. You know. But she's from Detroit. Boss. She's from Detroit though, but she kind of she seemed like she represented the West Coast, but
okay.
I'm not going.
I'm gonna have to look into her.
Google her. That's just
mad props to Boss though.
Yeah, shout out to Boss. Shout out to Boss. She was dope. So I have one critique of Snowfall that I have one problem.
Okay.
And you know what it is?
What?
Damson's hairline. His hairline be perfect. It's like they got the T Edgers line there from that like 2025. Because I'm like, how's this man's hair? Back in the 80s, we were mad peasy. We didn't have, he wasn't sharp like that. I Googled every picture from West Coast Los Angeles I could find. I could not find nobody whose hair was lined up.
That's funny. I don't know if Damson's going out like that though.
Right.
Damson, he got to appeal to the ladies.
True indeed, and that he is. You know, we recently interviewed him, and I was just like, man, all right, let me Google let me Photoshop myself in there and see if it works. Obviously, didn't work. All right, so my last question, and this is always something we ask almost every single person we interview.
Okay.
We ask them from AllHipHop.com, Angela Lewis, who are your top 5 dead or alive rappers? Got it. It's a rite of passage. We started it, and we got to ask you. It's a part of the game.
Top 5. Biggie and Tupac are tied for me.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. I think the R&B stuff. Okay. I had a list. I made a list. Okay. I don't wait. Let me find
you
my
can do
list.
this. You can totally.
I can do it. I know I can do it. I'm not gonna find it. Oh wait, here it is. Nope. I really like Eminem.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. There's no wrong answer.
I know, but no, isn't it 3 or 5? That's good enough, right?
Oh my God, you and Damson both did the same thing. He did 4. You can at least get to 4.
Top 5 of all time.
Big or like in the Hall of Fame. They kind of don't count, but
why don't they count? And see, this is why I have to have a list, because so I came up in the theater, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a thing called hip hop theater. And as a part of hip hop theater, you learn what goes into making an MC, a good MC, right? Mm-hmm. And so I have been witness to many a debate over the top 5 rappers of all time. And it just, as one who is more of an R&B girl, it makes me extremely nervous to be a part of this conversation.
Okay. Your top 5 R&B then. Top 5 R&B artists. Now, you asked for it.
Okay, can we also have soul in there?
All of it. Soul, R&B, neo soul, whatever.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
Prince.
Okay.
Michael Jackson,
Okay.
Anita Baker,
Okay.
and who should my final one be? I'm gonna go with Stephanie Mills.
Okay. See, that wasn't so hard, you know, and that's a
See?
beautiful, beautiful list. I'm gonna go listen to all of those artists right now. Yeah. I just want to say, man, thank you so much for your time. Man, I enjoy your art, your performances, and I wish you continued success in everything you
Thank you so much. I
do.
appreciate that. And to you too.